it be? With me, your man, Louis T. Welcome to the 2019 NFL Draft Prospects 101 series, your guide to some of the biggest and hottest names of the 2019 NFL Draft. We're now talking linebackers, and this next guy is the perceived number one linebacker in all of the 2019 NFL Draft, and he's uber talented, man. He's dripping with talent, speed, all of the things you're looking for at the next level. But I've got some questions here, and I'm here to tell you that I found a bunch of flaws in Devin White, the LSU linebacker's game, to the point where I'm not so certain that he's worthy of a top 5 pick, and I'm not sure he's the best linebacker in this draft. We'll talk about that a little bit later down the line, but 6 feet, 237, 3-year linebacker at LSU, 38 career games, 286 career tackles, 29 of them coming for loss, 8.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 9 pass breakups. He's had over 120 plus tackles each of the last 2 seasons. He ran a 4.42 at the combine, jumped 39.5 inches on the vert. The guy's a freak athletically, okay? And you see it on tape. The guy can get sideline to sideline. He can get to places in a blur. When he's unmolested, he is impossible to run away from. And so there's so many things to like with Devin White. But I'm just going to tell you right now on tape, I see a guy that can be mollywopped in the run game. I see a guy that misses way too many tackles for my liking. I see a guy that overruns plays. I see a guy that's not a very adept blitzer. And I see a guy that, frankly, isn't all that instinctual. So there are a lot of things that I'm not really, I can tell you this much. He's not Deion Jones. I can tell you that right now. He's not Deion Jones. So I said all of that to say this. He's really talented. Someone's probably going to draft him really early. He'll be a quality linebacker in this league, but I don't think he's Deion Jones. He's not Ryan Shazier. He's not Deion Jones. All right. He's not one of those true difference-making linebackers that we've seen come out in the draft over the last 7 years. And I just rattled off 2 of my favorites over the last 7 years. He's not either one of those guys. Hell, he's not Roquan Smith. All right. So to me, those are the 3 best linebackers that we've seen come out of the draft in the last 7 years at the inside linebacker position. He's none of those 3 guys. I'm just going to say that right now. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at some games from 2018. And let's start with the game on the road early in the season at Auburn. And let's take a look at what he was able to do in this football game here. So this first play, he discards a blocker to get a piece of the ball carrier. And this is quintessential Devin White right here. This is what you get with Devin White. And I'll show you a play that to me is even more exemplary of what this guy can bring to the table. But that's a hell of a play right there. And I was looking for more of that on tape, and I didn't get as much as I thought I was going to get. Here, sheds a blocker to make a tackle on 3rd and 1. This is beautiful. All right. To bring up 3rd and 1. See him get through there after shedding a block and stopping that ball carrier from picking up a first down. Now that's going to set up 4th and 1. What does he do on the next play on 4th and 1? This is what I want to see from him more often. Watch him diagnose this play and watch him get through there and win. Get through. He shoots his gun, gets in the backfield, stops for a tackle for loss. They got to turn it over on downs. Yeah, you eating, brother. That's a beautiful play there. Here, he takes on a blocker. All right, eyes up, sees what's going on, finds the ball carrier, sheds that blocker, makes the tackle. That's more along the lines of what I thought I was going to get consistently on tape. But here, this is what I got on tape. Keep in mind, he's undersized. Watch this tight end climb up to the 2nd level, get Devin White, and handle him. I mean, absolutely handle him. Touchdown. All right. He couldn't get off that block. All right. So this next play, bruh, what happened here? You get to see the speed on display here. He's unmolested. He gets to the outside. He tracks it, takes a good angle. Bruh, what happened? What was that? Like, what are we doing here, guy? Like, you can't miss that blatantly. And nobody touched him. I don't understand how he missed, right? So this next play here, he takes a false step towards the line of scrimmage, and then his player doesn't help him. His teammate is in the way, but he wasn't going to get there anyway because that false step. And that's why it's important to diagnose things and see it before you react. He took a false step, and he really took himself out of position there. Here, way to shoot your gun. I'd like to see him make this tackle, but he disrupted the play by shooting his gun and getting into the backfield. That's what you're going to get out of Devin White. When he sees it and he goes, he's going to be a problem at the next level. I just needed to see it a lot faster and go a lot faster. Here, he gets held, shakes free, and gets a piece of the running back before his teammate blasts him and stops him from making the tackle. But that's good stuff there, all right? And that's what I want to see more of from him as we head to this Louisiana Tech game. Here, When he's unmolested, he's a blur. Look at this. All right. On a blitz, look at this. Look at how fast he closes the distance on his quarterback, forces him to have to get rid of this football a little bit quicker than he wanted to. He's a blur when he's unmolested. All right. Watch him get mollywopped on this play here by a pulling guard. And I get it. It's a pulling guard and Devin White's undersized, but watch him get mollywopped here. All right. That's one little piece. Now watch him come get a second piece of Devin White who wants no smoke here. Just destroyed him, uprooted him, got him out of there. Again, I know I'm nitpicking, but whatever. Here, this is poor gap discipline. He has no idea where that football is going, and he just jumps in a random gap. It's the wrong gap, and it ends up giving up a good 15 on the play because he just decided to just pick a gap, any gap. Here, nice job of keying quarterback's eyes to get the deflection. He took a false step towards the line of scrimmage, but did a good job of keying quarterback's eyes. It took him straight to the ball, makes it a good play, knocks it down. That's a good play by Devin White there. Great pursuit angle here on speed option pitch to get the tackle for loss. And this is nice. Again, I would like to see him wrap up here and not let this guy slip down. But again, got him out of bounds, tackle for loss. That's good stuff there from Devin White. Explosive blitz here disrupts a screen, and he's able to get his hands on this football with a nice deflection. Again, when you don't touch this guy, he's impossible to run away from. And you saw it there on the blitz. He flies in on this play, but misses the tackle. He was pushed by a wide receiver on this play, on this screen. He comes flying in. Receiver gets a little piece of him, might have knocked him off his course, but you will see him overrun tackles. You will see him miss tackles too often, too frequently for my liking. If you're talking elite prospect, he misses way too many tackles for me. Nice job of pattern matching here. Watch him take away two options. Took away the first one. Now he takes away the shallow cross. That quarterback was all kinds of frazzled because of what Devin White did there. Good job of pattern matching, but he makes a good pass down the field for a catch. Here, tremendous contact here. I'd like to see him wrap up, but he stops the running back's momentum nonetheless. And so that's a good contact there from Devin White. I'd love to see him wrap up. He's a little too high there, but teammates came and cleaned up what he started. And then here, this is relentless effort and the acceleration and speed for the sack. This is gorgeous. All right. So he's blocked initially. I told you he's not a great blitzer either, but the relentlessness to stick with this play and then watch the acceleration and the speed to go track this guy down from behind and make the sack. And again, once he starts running and he can get up really quick to full speed, not many guys are going to outrun him. That's for sure. As we get to the final game, we're going to take a look at, and this is from 2018 versus Bama here. Man, he's fast. He's solid in coverage on the back out of the backfield. A simple little out route here by the back, Damian Harris, and watch him just track him and then knock him out of bounds. Man, is he fast. Devin White is such an athlete. This is not a good field by Devin White here, and it leads to a big run. And these are the types of issues I'm talking about. He's just not really instinctual. Where is he going? Again, I don't understand where he's going here, to jump outside there and open up and vacate the hole that the back ultimately ends up choosing. That's just a mistake on his part. And here, this is a great job of disengaging and making a tackle. And again, he can do this too. And he needs to use his hands a little bit better, but that's a good job of staying free, being able to read where the back was going and get a piece and stop him from getting into the end zone. Look, Devin White is a rare athlete at that particular position. You're not going to find many guys running a 4.42 with a 39.5-inch vert, being able to have the lateral quickness and agility that this guy possesses and brings to the table. I just am not a fan of the fact that he's not instinctual, not as instinctual as you would like him to be. When he sees it and he goes, who's stopping this guy? You saw it in the Auburn game on the 4th down. Who's stopping him from getting from point A to point B? Nobody. All right. When he decides to shoot his gun, he's lethal. The problem is he's reluctant a lot of times to shoot his gun. And we saw why, because he's making wrong decisions. He's picking wrong gaps. And so he wants to see it first before he reacts. And a lot of times, if he waits, that allows guys to climb to the second level and get to him. And he's not big enough to shed these guys. He's not big enough to deal with these bigger offensive linemen and bigger tight ends that can get their hands on him. And so he's got to be faster than them, which he is. So there's some question marks with me with Devin White. Not to say he's not going to be a really good player at the next level. I just don't think he's elite. Okay. That's my issue with Devin White. I think that because there's such a very scarce product at linebacker in this draft that everyone wants to race to throw this guy at the top. And yes, he's a tremendous athlete, but there's somebody better in this draft than Devin White, if you ask me. And so if I'm a team in the top 5 looking for a linebacker, I'm going with a Devin. It's just not going to be White. So I've seen comparisons for Devin White to, among others, Miles Jack and Deion Jones. Now, the Deion Jones comparison for me is low-hanging fruit because a lot of times with schools, they recruit the same caliber of athletes and the same body type in athletes because they're looking for specific guys to fill a role. Similar to the Ohio State Buckeyes, there's a profile for the type of linebacker they're looking for. And generally, you see guys at Ohio State be tall, a little thin, and very athletically gifted. And so those are the types of guys they recruit. So it's easy to kind of link them all together and lump them into one group. And at LSU, they're usually a little shorter, a little bit more stocky and lower center of gravity, a lot more physical than those of the linebackers at Ohio State, because in the SEC, it's required to be a lot more physical at the point of attack. So you get into this whole thought process of, well, they both went to LSU, so I'll just comp him to him. I don't think that that's an apt comp because he's not Miles Jack either, because both of those guys, Deion Jones and Miles Jack, to me, are much more physical than that of Devin White. At times, Devin White can even seem aloof when he gets at the point of attack and allows guys to take full advantage of him. I don't think he is soft, which is why I won't comp him to Darren Lee. And I thought he was more Darren Lee than those other guys I just mentioned, but Darren Lee is way too soft. Darren Lee much rather play over top or underneath a block than take on a blocker in a gap. So I definitely don't want to compare him to Darren Lee. I think the apples to apples comparison to Devin White for me is Zach Brown, the former Buffalo Bill, former Washington Redskin, who is currently a free agent. He is a guy to me that has the straight line speed that a Devin White has. White's a little faster, but when you watch Zach Brown, he's a blur on the football field as well when you don't get a hand on him. He's a guy that isn't as instinctual as you would like him to be, which I think is one of my biggest knocks on Devin White. And also, he's a guy that I don't necessarily trust in coverage. And I don't know if I trust Devin White in coverage either. I didn't see him in a lot of man-to-man situations. And so, and Zach Brown, a capable blitzer, but he's not great at it. I think Devin White's a capable blitzer. I don't think he's great at it either. So to me, there are a lot of similarities between Zach Brown and Devin White. So that's my comp for Devin White at the next level. So that's my draft prospects 101 breakdown on Devin White. Really freaky athlete with some really good qualities. He may grow into a hell of a linebacker, but right now he's just not where some of the other guys that came into the league as blue chip players, a la Roquan Smith or Ryan Shazier. He's just not where they were when they came into the league. And he didn't grow. He could grow into what Deion Jones has become. But I told anybody that would listen that year that Deion Jones was drafted in the second round that Deion Jones looks like a stud. All right. Remember, he only had that 1 year at LSU. And I said, he looks like he's going to be a beast. And he turned out to be exactly that. So we'll see if Devin White can morph into that. I just don't see it right now. So that's going to be his breakdown. Remember, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the Louis T Network for more great content. Also, check out the Louis T Network podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, available on Stitcher, Google Music Play, TuneIn, Spotify, and of course the website louistnetwork.net. Also, we got the draft party tonight. It's going to be lit. Come and join your man Louis T as we break down the draft together, each and every single selection. I also have a pregame show before the draft to talk about all of the rumors that have been swirling all day long as we get you prepared for the 2019 NFL draft. Come watch the draft with me, your man, Louis T, on the 2019 NFL draft party here on the Louis T Network. I'm your man Louis T signing off. Remember, if it's not your man T, it's not the best NFL coverage it could be. I'll see you guys later on. Have a good one.